Hi, this is Majinoni, and here's my comic reviews for the new Avengers 25, Secret Avengers 26, Astonishing X-Men 49, FF 17, and Avengers vs. X-Men, the Versus issue. Alright, let's do the AVX books first. Now, one thing I'll say about this is I like how they're not making it just the Avengers vs. X-Men. I think if they did that, the story would be get pretty lame really quick, because all it would be is just a battle book. But they're introducing some new, I guess you can say, players into the game, and I'm kind of curious to see how everything's going to play out. Now, first of all, with the Secret Avengers title, Remender did an okay job being forced into this situation, but I don't think this was like what I would consider a strong, believable title. And by that I mean, you have the Phoenix that's flying through space, destroying planets, destroying everything in its way, and a group of Avengers managed to stop it without really even trying, type thing. Now, don't get me wrong, Thor and War Machine and Captain Britain, they do stuff, but it's like, how come other planets couldn't have done something that even remotely did anything close to that, to at least slow the Phoenix down? So for that part of it, I'm just like going, well, okay, fine, whatever. I understand, it's just, you have to delay the Phoenix, so we'll just have them have their playtime, I guess you could say. The art, I think, is just okay. At moments, I think it's good, and other times, I think it's just bad. Like, for example, I think the Phoenix part is good, but like when you look at the faces of Thor, and I'm like, ugh, I don't think this guy even looked at a reference picture. I think he just drew it by what he thought Thor would look like. The important thing, though, is at the end, because a character comes back from the dead, and an interesting twist happens with the Kree. So this is an angle I'm very curious about. Now, while I'm curious about this, then along came the new Avengers, where this is basically the Iron Fist edition, where we don't get to see any of the battle, thank goodness, because I don't think I can handle another rehash of the battle. And what we get to see is there's a prophecy about Phoenix meeting a dragon, a bird, or the Phoenix or dragon, and a girl with crimson blood red hair, basically saving the day. And this happened in the past, and then because the Phoenix is coming into the future, coming now, Iron Fist is going to need to do something special. And so I'm really curious to see how this is going to go. So out of these two books, I thought the new Avengers was a lot more interesting. I think that the Secret Avengers could have had more bang for its buck, so to speak. The battle was kind of, I'll be honest, the battle was kind of lame. And you didn't get to the payoff wasn't until the very end. Then along came Versus. Now, I guess there's two ways you can look at it. One way is you can take it really seriously and go, I really want to know the outcome of this battle. I don't think this is going to be possible. The other way is, you know what, who cares? It's just fun battle. I try to go in thinking, okay, this is fun battle. But my fanboy side just ripped that to shreds. So let's take a look here. Now, you have Jason Aaron doing the Iron Man versus Magneto fight, and Immonen doing the Thing-Namer fight. Now, I understand that this would be considered a big deal in terms of this is something that fans would want to see. And, granted, I agree with that to a certain degree. I think, a lot of people did want to see a Magneto-Iron Man fight, and the Thing and Namor do have a rivalry. So, okay. I'm okay with that. Now, here's the problem I have. The thing is, with the Magneto-Iron Man fight, it's either over in a second or Iron Man's going to win. And by that I mean it's this. This was like a no-brainer decision. Because obviously if Iron Man's going to go fight Magneto, he's going to do something to prevent Magneto from taking control of his armor. Once that's out of the game, come on, do you think there's anything remotely possible that Magneto can do to beat Iron Man? Absolutely not. So, right from the very beginning, Magneto gets taken out. I mean, it's not even, I don't even consider it a challenge. And for that, I think that is a very disappointing battle to me. It just didn't have any excitement. It didn't make me go, wow. It was just, it's over. Now, a couple things that I do think is good, though, is I think the art is good. They did a really nice job with that. And I like the side comments, like the fun facts. I like the dialogue going back and forth between the characters during the battle. So it did have something redeemable, and it kept me interested. Unfortunately, the battle itself I thought was very uninspiring. I thought it was pretty pathetic, and I've seen better. I'll put it out there. I've seen better. Now, granted, they didn't have a lot of pages to do the battle, so I'm giving them a little bit of credit in terms of not having stuff to work with, but regardless, I didn't think it had much substance behind it. Now, looking at the Namor Thing battle, it's the same thing, what we have here. It has got the fun facts, which I think is really good. The artwork is pretty decent also. The banter between the two characters is good. All of that is good. But this one here, it ends, I guess you can say, with more Avengers slant, but it's not quite over. So you didn't get I guess you can say you didn't get a decisive victory, which is fine, because you can't have, Magneto technically is out of the picture, and then if they got rid of Namor, then that's two, heavy hitters that are gone. And I don't know how well the story would go from there, considering those are potentially really powerful characters. Now, as a battle book, again, I have to admit, the Namor Thing fight was not strong at all. I know there's going to be tons of people out there that are going to just say, you, Maginoni, you are out of your freaking mind. There's no way that that this was a bad fight. But let me explain to you. I've seen amazing fights before. I've seen fights through Berserk. I've seen fights through Full Metal Alchemist, Air Gear. Roller skating fights have been better than this. So that's what I mean. It's not that it's not as strong as I wanted it to be. I think that they could have done a better job at doing the actual fight, even though they had a limited amount of pages. And I understand I'm being really harsh because if you really look at the fight, they're really fighting on every single page. But I just don't think that it was an inspiring battle. It didn't really have emotion to it. It was just, let's just get it done, and then get it done, out the door. And I think that's what the key thing, that's what's missing with this issue, is there's no heart. And without a heart, it's not a good fight. Okay, now let's take a look at Astonishing X-Men 49. You have, basically what you have is you have the Marauders attacking. You have some mind control going on. You have the Vanisher back from the dead, and I think this is so far off to a decent start. Some people may not enjoy the long monologue that talking with Northstar and his boyfriend. Now, granted, I don't mind romance angles and things like that because I think sometimes that can really help develop characterization. Personally, I thought it went just a little bit too long. Beyond that, I think the rest of the issue was entertaining. This is one of the better, at least one of the more entertaining X-Men books that I'm reading. And I also liked how, I think, what is it, I know it's not Warbird, but it's that Shi'ar girl. She wants to make the play on Iceman because Iceman finally manned up a bit. So I thought that was good. I thought that was really funny. And I definitely don't think this is what you would consider a Book of the Week type contender, but at least it was entertaining. And then, FF. This is, I guess you can say this is a good transition issue. You have basically Johnny Storm rooming with Peter Parker, and Peter's not happy with it. Basically, you have what you have is a serious guy who just wants to be left alone, and you have Johnny Storm who's poking at him non-stop throughout the whole issue. And while I don't think that this was, again, this is where I'm going to get some hate, because I didn't like the beginning part, just because for me, I thought I've read this before. So I guess if you look at it as an old school reader, okay, it's fine, it's nothing special. To newer readers, I guess this would be a very fresh book and a very interesting angle, so I can see a difference of opinion on that. Now, as I was reading it, I was just like going blah 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 blah, and then I almost wrote it off, saying this is just average, until I got to the last page. When I got to the last page, I said, home run. This book was awesome, and I totally enjoyed it. And I'm not going to spoil it, because if you haven't read it, it's that last page which you will go, that is awesome, Majumuni. I agree with you 1,200%. Overall, so it pulled itself out of its ass, and it actually turned out to be a decent read for me. Anyways, that's my review for these books. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. I'm really curious to see what your guys' opinion on the Versus book. So far, it's like I said, it's delivering what it's supposed to, battle, but it needs something more, and I just wish it's just missing heart. If it had that, then I think we have something special with this. Anyways, until next time.